it was around 9 years ago when I first sat down with Tony Meloto to discuss a possible partnership between my office as chairman. I was chairman of the Senate Committee on Housing then, and Gawad Kalinga. Initially, there were DBM limitations to our appropriations, but we found a way to go around it. We saw Gawad Kalinga as a template, possible template for community development, of which I had jurisdiction as chairman of the Senate Committee on Housing, and therefore, this was the beginning of our partnership. Up to when we sat down, there were only 20 Gawad Kalinga sites, or hindi pa Gawad Kalinga ang tawag po ata nun, but 20 outside of Metro Manila. And today, there are close to over 2,000 Gawad Kalinga sites. Now, 10 years later, or 9 years later, I am now chairman of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food. And then, GK is now venturing into GK CSI. I don't know if it's coincidence, Tony, but we seem to be soulmates. Our offices and our advocacies, we seem to be soulmates, because now we are in this position to take a step further and bring community development to the next level. Alam niyo po, it's very interesting. I just came from China last week, and 2 weeks ago we were in Thailand. We were looking at different farming communities. And indeed, ang sentro po nila ay kung paano dinidikit yung magsasaka at ang kanyang komunidad dinadala sa private sector. How to build the support mechanism so that the farming communities become sustainable, so that their incomes are improved. Because today, 50% of our population are still in the rural areas. Of that 50%, nandyan din po ang pinakamahirap. The poorest of the poor come from the rural areas. In fact, they come from agriculture. And the poorest of the poorest of the poor come from the fishery sector. To add, we are in alarm mode. Why? The farmer today, the average age is 57 years old. In 5 years' time, he would be retired. A new generation of Filipinos are not interested to go into farming, because farming means a vow of poverty at this point. But it should not be the case. Because if we modernize our farming, we modernize an impact of half the nation's population, will have a great multiplier effect and will really boost our economic growth. We cannot reach developed nation status as aspired for by Tony Meloto and ourselves when he reaches 74 unless we invest in agriculture, enterprises, and modernization. There is no other way. 57 years old na ang ating mga farmers. Wala nang gustong magsaka. Pag hindi na po magsasaka ang ating mga magsasaka, saan po tayo kukuha ng kakainin sa pang-araw-araw? This CSI project of GK is exactly or similar to what we have been formulating and we will be launching in a month or two. So we will call on GK to partner with us in a program called Sagip Saka, na kung saan we will organize farming communities, provide them the necessary support, link them up to the supply chain, link them up to the buyers, and so that their incomes will increase, and so that farming communities become sustainable, so that we can achieve food security and achieve developed nation status in 15 to 20 years. There's no going around it. We have to take care of our farmers and our fisher folk. For us to achieve food security, kailangan po nating alagaan ang ating magsasaka. We have to secure our farmers and our fisher folk. And our GK CSI initiative is right up there. It is on the nose, ika nga. And that's why, when we met with Tony Meloto 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, we committed for the CSI GK program, 10 million pesos. 2 million for Angat, 2 million for Cam Sur, 2 million for Cam Norte, 2 million for Negros, and 2 million for Davao. This is private sector, public sector partnership so that we can build sustainable farming communities, up the incomes of our farmers and fisherfolk, and march towards real progress and development and developed nation status in 15 to 20 years. Magandang umaga po sa kanila lahat. Maraming salamat.